Hey guys, good morning. Wanted to go ahead and actually do a reaction video to a video that Crinacle said. And basically what he says is, what are the best songs for testing headphones? And this is a 15-minute video, but I'm basically just going to cut on the 3 points that he says. I agree with the 2 points he says, but I disagree with his third point. And I'm actually going to go through a montage of different music to make a point that I don't agree with his third point, right? But let's get right to it. So he's saying, what are the best songs for testing headphones, right? So let's just play here.
I have retired from IEM reviews, but back when I was still doing reviews, one of the most common questions that I get is, what is the best music or song to test audio equipment? And the fact of the matter is, there is none.
And so what he basically says in his first chapter, there's obviously certain songs that are best at what you're looking for. Let's say it's bass that you're looking for. Let's say you're looking for testing for vocals or soundstage or what have you. You know, there's going to be certain songs that have the best loss list. They have everything. But what he's saying is the most important thing, actually, more than all of that, is familiarity. As in, if you understand that song and you've played that song over and over and over and over and over, that is more valuable because any sort of headphones you use, any sort of DAC, whatever, you're going to know the differences because you're so familiar with that song. And I agree. But let's just play what he says right here.
We have a saying that I've been saying for many, many years now. Familiarity trumps technicality, which are big words that I will explain right now. Don't get me wrong. There would be tracks that would absolutely be more appropriate for testing audio equipment with. They would have...
But he basically says, but what's more important is that you're familiar with it. And this is the same concept that Tyler Hertzens also says as well, right here.
While I'm doing my listening tests, I have a very specific set of tracks that I use all the time. As I said, I don't want to be biased by anything. And so one of the things I do is all my listening tests are always done with exactly the same tracks. These are pieces.
By the way, Tyler Hertzens is the GOAT. He's my inspiration. I will never be like this guy, but I study him a lot. He's like my biggest inspiration. But let's keep going.
Music that I am absolutely sick of.
See, he just plays, like, he has these test tracks that he plays over and over, and he uses the same test tracks every single time, and he's sick of it. But by doing that, he knows the differences because he knows the song, right? And that's actually what Crinacle is saying as well. Okay, so what Crin next says is on the second part, he says, unfamiliarity sounds good. And what he's saying is sometimes you go to trade shows and they'll have like all this equipment and everything, and they will have songs that they have, songs you don't know. And what happens is when you listen to their music, everything starts to really sound good.
Like I said, when it comes to these kinds of very highly curated music selections, there's a good chance that you've never heard these songs before. And unfamiliarity, coincidentally, sounds really good.
And that's actually what Tyler Hertzens says right here as he continues on. He doesn't like to test new songs because you're going to start to fall in love with those songs, and it will actually sway you away from what you know about what you know about the headphone or what you should know, right?
If I listen to just sort of random pieces of music, I may get all involved in the music and think something is just awesome and great. But I don't. I listen to things that...
But there's this third point that I want to talk about, and this is where I disagree with Crin. In this part, basically, Crin is saying that he doesn't really agree with the concept of mentioning genres and trying to link IEMs to it. But I actually do disagree. And I kind of want to actually disprove what he's saying here. So what he says is there's subgenres. But watch this. Check this out.
It's too broad for something like equipment testing, because for the fact of the matter is, even within genres, you have such a wide range of subgenres.
I actually think that this image actually disproves what he's trying to say, because in my opinion, there's actually something in common. All this moves fast. Things move quick, right? So you need an IEM that can handle a lot at one time. By looking at this, that's what I'm saying is like, yeah, and we're gonna go, and then when we fast forward, then he starts saying, well, there's East Coast and there's West Coast hip hop, and what I'm trying to say, but I'm trying to say this delicately. When I actually play a montage of East Coast and West Coast hip-hop, there's absolutely something going on here. And there are definitely IEMs that would actually benefit from that. But let's play.
America and say, or just American hip-hop, you have East Coast hip-hop and West Coast hip-hop.
Like, I disagree here because when you look at like Notorious B.I.G., what is it? It's sub bass, a bunch of sub bass, and maybe some instrumentals in the background, and then rapping, right? When you look at Nicki Minaj, basically it's like instrumental in the background, maybe a little bit singing, but it's bass and sub bass in the background, and then rapping. Tupac, it's bass in the background, sub bass, and rapping in the background. And right here.
You never thought that hip hop would take it this far.
I mean, come on, dude. You can hear it.
He's dope, he knows that, but he's pro, he's so
Or right here.
I got this French chick that love the French kiss.
You've got instrumentals in the background, you got bass, and you got rapping, and bunches and gobs of bass.
They wanna know if he still got it. They say rap.
Or this right here.
Not for blocks through hard tops in the parking lots where my
Tell me, but if that's true, could I have been? So easily forgotten.
From looking back is done. Plus, congratulations, you know you got a son. I heard he looks like.
All right, so now let's switch it up. Let's say someone says they really, really love vocal trance. Well, the point I'm trying to say is that there's absolutely something going on here, and you need particular IEMs that would work here. You need something that can handle things fast. It can handle, one of the things I would say is important for like vocal trance or trance in general, you need things where it can handle a whole bunch of things at once. Okay, so I'm going to start playing about 5 different tracks here, and you're going to see how things move fast, right? It ain't going to be like this, where it's like just this. Compare and contrast that to something like this.
but in my mind I whisper every single word you say.
The point I'm trying to say is that, and to me it just seems so obvious, but I don't know, like the kind of IEM that would work for something like this, where it's all basically sub bass and rapping, and it's a little bit more chill, right?
Hey, blow up like the World Trade. Born sinner. The
Is absolutely going to be different from something like this.